right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 537. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who is probably going to camp out of Toys R Us to get some of that sweet, sweet liquidation merch. Wombat.
Yeah. Gotta get it now.
Nope, that's not their saying.
I know. Well, I am a Toys R Us kid.
I don't want to grow up would have been appropriate.
I don't want to wait online. That's appropriate.
I don't want to wait outside.
Yeah.
I don't
want to wait for this love to be over.
I don't want to go outside. Shipwreck?
I would walk 500 miles. Hi, Ship.
I don't want to participate in this line of quotes.
Right. No, we're going to talk about that sad news later. That's the end of that.
Bummer Central.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yet.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes. Both of those things. Sad and interesting. Like my life.
No. Hey, don't bum us out even more. Are we going to talk about school shootings next?
Stop talking about your life, Wombat. You're just bumming everybody out.
It's basically how it works, isn't it?
Well, it's all in the how you talk about it, how you frame it.
That's
right.
Yeah.
You at least had that high point of letting everybody know that you had Echo Dots everywhere.
That's true. I had that moment of my life. I still have them, so that's got to count for something.
Good. It's still going well for you then.
That is still going well.
You live in a
Still
smart
playing
house.
the music in the mornings. Yes, it's as smart as my house is going to get.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of news. Some things that we forgot to talk about last week. So I think we should get right into the show feedback.
Sure. I posted to show two things that they're fairly lengthy, but I thought they were worth posting. So
I doubt it.
You have to listen to me. This one actually made me laugh. So, Silent Sound Guy has to say, the three-way CAGcast hosts deal with not knowing something. Cheapy D. When Cheapy D doesn't know something, he can't be bothered to look it up. He's content with not knowing and continues on with his life. Shipwreck. Sometimes Shipwreck will be curious enough to Google something during a show. If he does so, he will tactically wait for a pause in the conversation and insert the tidbit. Wombat. Wombat can't handle not knowing something. If a fact somehow eludes his vast knowledge base, he will forget that Cheapy and Shipwreck exist and go to Google Town immediately. The conversation will continue without him and possibly change to a new topic. As soon as Wombat acquires the information, he will blurt out said tidbit with absolutely no regard for the current state of the CAGcast. I would say this happens once per 3 episodes. Love you guys. Been a CAG since 2005 and never miss an episode. Keep up the great work, except for Wombat. Do better, Wombat. I think that's accurate.
I look things up. If it's something I don't, care, I'm not going to look it up. I can't necessarily look it up during the show if we're trying to, do it. It depends.
That's exactly what he said.
Also, for some reason, I bought a very loud mechanical keyboard, so I really only look things up when it's very important.
Click-a-clack-a-click-a-clack-a-clack-a-clack.
But some things I won't even be bothered to look up
get
afterwards.
like a silent keyboard for CAGcast.
I could have, but I'm not going to be switching my keyboard out.
Silent Keyboard by Mike and the Mechanics.
This one lights up. You know about that, right?
Yes.
I do. We're all familiar with how you.
And isn't it like missing a key, or did you?
Oh no, I got a new one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Was it the Q? Was it the Q? Am I that good, or?
I had the RoboCop sign fall on the keyboard once, and then they replaced the keycap. Then something else, then it just broke some other time, and they replaced it. And then they canceled their
great $high item.
Well, then they canceled their key replacement program altogether because the keys, I guess, kept breaking for everybody. And then I threw the keyboard out.
You'd think they'd have this figured out by now.
Well, maybe for the next keyboard that they made.
Keyboards have been around for a little while.
They didn't find the key to the keyboards yet.
Right. I don't know. That comment was lame. That's the best comment we got. Do better, Wombat.
There was a. Do you have the comment from last week's show where people were complaining that Cheapy was saying the comments were lame?
Yes. It wasn't me. He was.
Yeah.
It was actually he was talking about Wombat because he mentioned Wombat specifically because he tried to correct Wombat's use of modicum and moniker. Maybe I forget exactly.
Which we already discussed in the episode.
I'm
like
just
a week
saying that's he wasn't referring to me. Now he can refer to me for next week's show.
Yeah, so to Sayer had to say that he's been listening to the CAGcast as long as he could remember being able to get audio RSS on his original PSP. It's stupid that every week I think I should write in and say thanks, but now I'm just getting around to it. On some level, I really relate to all of you, especially as you've turned into parents, now parents of gamers. I'm a few years ahead of you, but still appreciate the insight. I travel a ridiculous amount. I'm a pilot.
Oh, wow.
So you guys keep me company when I'm stuck in random hotels, airports, going for walks, and driving between airports and hotels. I swear my uniform looks better if I'm listening to the CAGcast when I'm ironing it because I'll get lost in the show and spend way more time on it than necessary. He goes on for
That's
more,
nice.
and then
That's
he says,
really
keep up
nice.
the great works. So yeah, I thought that was really nice, and we're sharing. So thank you for listening and for flying the friendly skies. And
What he should do is just have it playing throughout the whole cabin.
That's what I was going to say. This is your captain speaking. For the duration of the flight, we are going to listen to 3 CAGcasts in a row, dating back from 2015. Please enjoy. Yeah, see, that would be a great flight.
That's funny. So we did learn. We learned that mailmen, postal carriers, is that the proper term? Listen to a lot of podcasts, and I guess it would make sense that pilots do too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Somebody's going to be listening to podcasts, I guess.
right.
Surely you can't be serious.
Yeah.
Pilot joke.
Yep. All right. What else? Oh, I added this one for you, Wombat.
Yeah.
Because I actually was thinking about this again, and it's funny that it came up.
At Curb Stomped has to say, can you guys talk about how Wombat's lack of empathy, no crying at movies, etc., is a sign that he is a sociopath?
Sure. That's not a sign of being a sociopath.
I am a sociopath.
Because I thought about that. And then I remember watching a show, and a sociopath, I believe, is someone who cannot distinguish what's right and what's wrong. And because
I know when something is sad.
Yes. Yes, that's the difference. And I'm sure that there are things that make you sad. It just maybe you haven't seen it in a movie.
Sure. And I don't cry when I'm sad. I think that's part of it.
Right. Exactly. I watch
Wombat's a real man's man.
Yes, exactly. I am so masculine and virile.
a real Long Island man.
Uh-huh. Should see me chop wood.
I'd like to see that.
Me too.
Yeah, I like when I posted a picture in my backyard of all the branches that fell during the last storm, the big storm.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh, you should chop that up. That could make some good kindling wood. And I'm like, yep. I could also just go to the supermarket right there, and it's like $6. Get a whole big thing of it.
Wait, you're not even going to use the wood that's sitting there. You're just laying around?
I mean, it's all like weird sizes, and why even fuck with it? Some of it is like moldy and shit. The reason why it fell out of the tree is because fell down from the tree, is that it's some of it has been dead for a while and just sort of fell off. I don't know. Some of it doesn't look that good. Doesn't look like I'd want to put it into my living room.
So what'd you do with it?
Nothing. It's still sitting there. It's going to sit there until the landscaper starts working again, and then he'll do something with it. The stuff that of the stuff that fell in my front yard fell into like there's a path that's in my front yard that people use to get into the park that's next to my house. And even though it's in my front yard, I decided, and like a big branch fell blocking the path. So I was being a good person, and I went out there and I cut it up with my what do you call those things? Not pliers, but for gardening. Pliers, but for gardening.
Uh-huh.
What do you call those?
Your clippers?
Clippers, yeah, I guess. Clippers, I guess.
Your shears?
Yeah, sure. Or pliers for gardening. That's fine.
Your lawn scissors?
So now I have this big pile of cut up branches that I'm not sure what to do with, because I guess I got to put it in a big garbage bag. I feel like they come and take the branches a couple times a season, but I'm just not exactly sure when that is. Anyway, if I don't buy, if everybody's just taking the shit that falls in their backyard, what's the supermarket going to do with all those big things of logs that they have in front of the store? Somebody's got to buy them.
Sure.
Someone's got to think of the economy.
Thank you for thinking of the economy.
What's that?
So thank you for thinking of the economy.
You're welcome.
We're keeping it going.
Yeah.